Week three of Loserball. We are cranking along here, having some exciting times. Some teams are starting to shake out. Some teams are starting to let us down. But I know that Miami team, they are strong. They play Thursday night, so they weren't a possibility this week. We have Rick Wolf, the Hall of Famer. How you doing, Rick?
Doing good. Doing good.
Great.
Get along.
So we're gonna do a quick. We didn't do Chat GPT this week, so Rick's not gonna compete. He's just gonna give you some inside tips on what he's thinking. So we're gonna get right to these. Most quarterback turnovers. Joe Flacco. I mean, he's a stalwart, so we got him in there every week. Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, and Bryce Young. These are all some pretty strong candidates in my mind. I took Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
who
mean,
do you
the,
got?
the second year quarterback is probably a pretty good pick. I picked Mac Jones this week.
Huh.
And I'm going back to my picks right now so I can see something there. But yeah, the the San Francisco Arizona situation, him in for the injured quarterback, always tough to figure out. And then the Arizona defense is pretty underrated. So, and you're getting 6.2 multiple. You're getting a big multiple on that one.
Yeah, that's something that people should not sleep on. Is that's it'll tell you how much your returns are depending on what your how many sparks you put in. Um, just want to say now's a good time to get in. There we have like 65 people. We're growing the movement, but if you want to have better odds, at winning, it's better to do it when there's less people. That is just the math. Okay, least rushing yards. Least rushing yards. DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Chuba Hubbard, Josh Jacobs, and Tony Pollard. I did not make a pick on this one. I felt
I
I wasn't sure.
I hear the Sesame Street song. One of these
Yeah.
things doesn't belong, right? And so Tony Pollard is the only guy in his backfield. Chuba Hubbard's the only guy in his backfield. DeAndre Swift started slow, but that Dallas offense couldn't stop the Giants. So for me, they're going to be more carries for RJ Henry. So J.K. Dobbins is the guy I think gets the least rushing yards with that front four of the Chargers.
Okay. On to least receiving yards. And what we've been trying to do is mix it up, have new players every week, have new teams every week, so everybody can get in on the fun. So Michael Pittman is new this week. Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, and DK Metcalf. I don't think I picked anybody this week. Yeah, I
The
didn't pick anyone for wide
the
receiver.
interesting thing here is the level and depth of multiplier, right? So Zay Flowers a seven multiplier. So you can collect a lot of points and get a shot at a victory if that one thing plays out, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah. So
Detroit
you
lets
got
up a lot
Detroit's
of
defense.
yards. They let up a
Right.
lot of yards. So and by the way, all five of these wide receivers are bad players. I mean, they get yards every week. So having to pick a new loser, if you will, I think Michael Pittman is the one who is slowing the most as far as targets and other things go. And Devontae Adams on the way up. Garrett Wilson's a 10 target guy every single game. So for me, like Michael Pittman is the guy that I put mine on, even with the low odds.
Well, part of picking losers is hard, it's not a gimme. So we got to figure it out. And we like that. We like the challenge. Just so anyone knows, we're using these projections mostly from CBS. The projections come out early in the week. We want to get the contest out on Tuesday, so we're looking at Monday projections for the following week. And that's what we got. Yeah, Michael Pittman's a pretty high win percentage and low odds. All right, most missed kicks, which I know
This
you
is all you.
love. You love this one. Yeah, and I was looking
This
at every week they're cutting people. Every week there's new ones. So I did pick someone this week. We've got Matt Gay, who's still around. Uh, they inserted Youngkook, who is no longer the starting kicker. It's now John Parker Romo for Atlanta. Chad Ryland, Arizona, Joshua Carty with your LA Rams on your hat. And I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong. Andres Borregales. And I went for Andres. I just don't have much confidence in him and I like his odds.
All right. I play in 11 season long leagues. Okay. Three of them require you take kickers. All three of them, I go a couple rounds early and get Brandon Aubrey. So I don't think about kickers all year except for one bye week a year. I don't know any of these players. I mean, that could be Tony Romo. That should be Tony Romo. It's to me, it's the same thing. And anybody named Chad just reminds me of the SNL skit. Hey Chad, okay, okay. So I'm like okay on all these kickers. I want nothing to do with this category. Sorry, buddy.
It's all right. I just think there's something really viscerally awesome about rooting for your kicker to miss. And so there is a joy when that happens if you pick it right. But
Well,
again, it's not easy.
you should give like two missed field goals or three missed field goals for a doink because there've been a lot of doinks this year, and
There were like
that's
two in
fun.
one game, right? Yeah,
Right.
that's
And
what I mean.
that's
It's that moment when
and
that
demoralizing,
happens.
but fun and demoralizing at the same time. Well, actually, fun and amazing at the same time.
The an anecdote from a buddy of mine who played last week. He had Nico Collins for least receiving yards, and Nico scored a touchdown. He was like, "Oh, oh, Nico, why are you doing that to me?" So that's what we love about loser ball, are those kind of moments. Most points allowed. All right, we got now we're moving on to the teams.
Yeah,
We got the Raiders, we got the Jets, we got the Bengals, we got the Browns, and we have the Giants. I picked the Brownies. I mean, I just love them every week against Green Bay. I I think they're a pretty strong pick, and their odds are they're decent,
they
not
are
great.
league stalwarts for sure. But
They're a dynasty.
if the Cowboys can score 30 points off the Giants, Kansas City will score 35 at least, and that'll probably lead this category. So I'm with the Giants as my leader into the clubhouse, my champion in most points allowed.
Well, the Giants are, I mean, they have such a track record. If Saquon Barkley won MVP last year, right? He won MVP last year?
In Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia, right.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones this year wins comeback player and maybe MVP. I mean, what does that say for the Giants? That they have what it takes, in ownership. They don't want players who are going to cause problems for them in the locker room. They want to get
Mm-hmm.
rid of them if they're going to score touchdowns, if they're going to rush for a lot of yards. That's not what the Giants want.
They have one player, Thibodeau. He's the guy who can get to the quarterback. But Patrick Mahomes is a magician, and it's just going to be a mess. It's going to be an unmitigated disaster
Well,
in the
they're
best
0
possible way.
2, and but it is a Giants home crowd. I don't know if that's the home field disadvantage. So we'll see.
Yeah,
All right, most yards allowed. We have the Lions, the Titans, the Cardinals, the Bears, and the Panthers. I took the Bears. I think that Dallas is just going to run all over them. And who know? I don't know if it'll be a high scoring game, but I think Dallas is ready to rumble, and the Bears are ready to exceed.
yeah, yeah. If the Dallas had any running backs who are any good, then that would make sense. But I'm going to take the Detroit Lions because they do have a running back in Derrick Henry who will run all over them. And Lamar Jackson leads the league in touchdowns passes. If you didn't see, he has 6 touchdown passes this year. And
So you
so
you
they're
you
going
don't
to,
mind the low odds because you think they're going to win in that category.
yeah, you got to, I mean, if they're
Yeah.
going to win the category, you don't want to, you either want to put zero on the category if you don't want to take those odds, or you want to maximize that so that you use a clear winner.
It's interesting that as one thing about Loserball, which is interesting how it's set up with Spark at our partner, is that the win percentage stays locked when we put it in for Tuesday when the contest opens, but the odds change based on where people are predicting. And the Bears actually should have had the second highest odds going in, but they now have. No, they slipped a little bit, but they went down. They went down a little bit. They're like close to the Titans. Anyway, little thing, little tip, that maybe that you don't jump in early unless you're feeling confident, but the odds do change over the week. All right, most team penalties, and I did not pick anybody this week, but the Saints, they are a quality team. They have a real cohesion, which holds everything together on the field. They like those yellow flags. So we have them in there. The Commanders, the Jaguars, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs. This was based on who is leading the league in penalties over the first 2 weeks.
There you go. Well, and the reason those teams are leading in penalties is because some of them have rookie linemen, and it takes them time to get things figured out. And the Jaguars are the ones who are going to have the most um, legal motion penalties on the offensive line and holding penalties on the offensive line. As Houston's defense is pretty good. So I think Jacksonville is the winner in this category, and they're the ones I went with.
So I
Or the
think
loser in this category, sorry.
exactly, you'll get it right at some point.
I'm
We
a loser.
it's either that or it's the Beck song, the loser song by Beck. I
Hmm.
really like that. I'm a loser. I think I'm singing it wrong
No,
as usual.
it's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. If you hear the word loser, it has to be loser.
If we could afford the license, we would put that in right now. So, but yeah, maybe that's one of our memes for our emails. Thank you, Rick, as always. For
You
folks
know what's
who
one more second. You
yeah,
know what's
yeah,
great about that? Isn't if you remember Ace Ventura is about the fledgling Miami Dolphins
yeah,
and
Dan Marino.
about how the kicker missed the game-winning field goal.
We clearly need Jim Carrey as our spokesperson. So
Finkel is Einhorn. So there you go.
it's all coming around. Thank you, Rick. May the worst team win, and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll
You
uh, we'll
got it,
see you
man.
next
Stay
week.
terrible. Stay
Stay
terrible.
terrible.